So just to reiterate, this meeting is getting recorded, and at the same time, we are live on YouTube. Um, Today, we will practice these 13 questions to start with, and then we will move to the module 3, which is planning the project. So here I will go over the first question. I'm taking the approach from the end of the test towards the start of the test. So this is the 13th question we are starting. The client is pressing for early delivery of a new software feature. However, the team is still working on creating extensive documentation. As a project manager, what is the best approach to satisfy this client's needs without compromising the project's success? Inform the client that the delivery can only occur after the documentation is complete. Ask the client to wait until the next sprint when both the feature and the documentation are fully ready. Release a beta version of the feature to the client and complete the documentation in parallel. Option 4, prioritize finalizing the documentation before releasing the feature to the client. All right. So primarily in this question, we are having a competition between what to deliver first, a software feature which is working software, or at the same time, we should also be delivering the documentation, or we should be postponing the documentation part, or we should be preponing the documentation part. So what do you think, guys?
A, the documentation has to be done first before anything else can be done.
So here is the point that the documentation is important. We should put every effort to make documentation first, and then we should deliver the software. This is pretty conventional approach. You are right. Now, when we discussed our agile principles and agile values, and we discussed about agile manifesto that the software industry gave to us. And as per agile values, we will emphasize always delivery of a working software, then providing a comprehensive set of documents that explains that software as a requirement. So let me give you an example. So for me as a customer, if I give you a piece of software to develop it, and you work with me to note down the requirements of the software for a month, or maybe 2 months, and then you compiled a complete list of requirements, or maybe a, a, a booklet of requirements, that this software should have X feature and Y feature and Z feature. And this is an excellent documentation. After compiling that excellent documentation, you came over to me and you handed over to me a document after 2 months. What I'm going to use what I'm going to do with this document, just a sign off, and then I will tell you, okay, start the development. But in this 2 months of time, you took a lot of time only to document what the software should have. Instead, if you would have taken a requirement for, let's say, a feature, and then documented it in parallel and delivered some working feature, and then you should have continued writing the documentation for the rest of the software later on. That would have been an agile approach. So here the question is testing your knowledge about the agile values. This is my point. Now, any second guess again, George?
Well, after further explanation with you, obviously with the agile approach, changes can happen. So I guess B would also would be an answer.
Yeah, B could be an answer. And so as we can think about, uh, so let's take an elimination approach now. So what is elimination approach? So we will eliminate what could not what cannot be an answer, right? So we said that A cannot be an answer. Inform the client that delivery can only occur after the documentation is done, which is not an answer. And then let's say uh, D. D is prioritize finalizing the documentation before releasing the feature, and it is somehow same as A. So both of A and D cannot be an answer. Now competition is between B and C. Correct. Now let's see B. B is ask the client to wait until the next sprint when both the feature and the documentation are fully ready, which also looks nearly correct. And then C, release a beta version of a software and complete the documentation in parallel. Now, if you look at the question, the demand, the client is demanding, the client is pressing what they want a software, they want a feature. So now, if this is if this is the case, then to me, C looks more lucrative because here we are releasing a, a beta version, a test version, what we call a test version of a feature to the client, and we are rest assuring that we will be continuing to do the documentation in parallel.
Okay, so that
So
explains it a little bit better. You said test version. So that's basic. Explain the word beta, BETA. So that's like a
yeah,
test version, like a, okay, I get it now.
yep. I should have mentioned in some brackets that this is beta mean test version. Then it would have been very clear. So I hope now
Yeah,
everyone understands.
C is the best.
Yeah, C is the best answer. True. Anyone has different opinion or have not understood so far, we can explain it. Arsalan,
Yes,
is it clear to you? C is the
yes,
answer. We are choosing C as an answer. Do you
yes.
agree?
Go with the C, but these also have some sort of, you know, because in this ask the client to wait until. But yes, C is good. Go with the C.
Yeah. So exactly. So now the point is that we are we don't have time. The thing is, client is asking us to prioritize delivering the feature. Now I have two options. If I can run a sprint and I give him the working feature, or I run another sprint to complete a documentation. And when both of these things are fully ready, I hand it over to the client. I mean, at the same time, I give it to the client. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prioritize in the coming sprint, I'm going to prioritize only the feature delivery. And then I will give the demo of the test version to the client and continue working on the documentation. Whichever part of the documentation is complete. I'll show you. Whichever not done, doesn't matter. But asking the client to wait another sprint and let me complete the documentation, and then I will hand over both of these things together to you is not possible because client is pressing for early delivery of a software feature, right? But the team at the same time is occupied with creating extensive documentation, right? Now, the only point here is we need to ask the team that while you continue to work on creating the documentation, but give higher priority to delivery of a software feature. That gives some emphasis that we are aligning with agile value of prioritizing the software delivery over writing a comprehensive documentation. That's the key point here. Got it, Arslan?
Yes, I got it. I got it. Now it's
Okay.
more clear. Yes.
All right. A customer requests a feature change that will slightly deviate from the originally agreed upon project scope. What should the project manager prioritize in this situation? Instruct the team to ignore the change, remind the customer about contractual terms and deny the change request and continue with the planned work. Collaborate with the customer to understand the value of the change and its impact on the project. Engage in a renegotiation of the contract terms to include the new feature request. Now, again, we are in a situation where we uh, would be tested how Agile handles change request, right? So, what do you think, guys? Gigi, what should be the answer?
Is in a renegotiation of the contract.
Not able to hear you, Gigi. If you are speaking,
Yeah.
you are on. Can you
I
come?
think it's C.
Yeah, that's collaborate with the customer to understand the value of the change and impact on the project. And this aligns with the third value in the agile set of values, four values, where we say that um, in the in the case of change, we collaborate with the customer rather than negotiating the contract, like rather than strictly speaking the contractual language that no, no, this is not part of the scope, original scope. We look in the best interest of the customer and we see that what is making more value, how would we generate more value of the time and the money of a customer by delivering something more valuable. So it doesn't harm to change the original scope in the best interest of the customer. So we collaborate and change rather than we issue a addendum to the contract. So all the other options, if you see, the first option you can straight away eliminate, instruct the team to ignore the change. This is
Yes.
so rude. It should not happen. Remind the customer
Um,
about contractual terms. So this is
Sam,
so
can you
hard.
excuse me? You mentioned about the agile principle. I mean, is that the values, principles? Do you had a slide on that, right?
Yeah, if you just go
Yeah.
back to
So
our initial,
can you be more specific on which of those it's covering?
yeah. So what I will do, I will go back right now, straight away. We
Can
will
we just
open
see
it.
the slides,
Yes.
please?
Yeah, yeah. So then we will have a reference to our
Because
slide, which slide.
I'm just thinking that there
Yeah.
could be similar
Look, guys,
questions in
it's
the actual
it's right
exam.
in front of us, slide 16. And the third principle, I mean, the third value is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. If you remember, we discussed Agile Manifesto, and the team which formulated Agile Manifesto, they gave us four set of values and 12 set of principles. And if you recall our initial lecture, we went through all these four values and 12 principles. And the question that we just now had it is about the third value where we say that
Yeah.
um, although contract negotiation may be important, but moving forward, we're gonna value customer collaboration over contract negotiation.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you so much, Sham. If you can kindly, in the future, I'm in the coming questions, whenever you're correcting us or when you're giving us the correct answer, would appreciate if you could refer to the slide, the page number of the slide that is the basis for the correct answer. Just like now, what you're doing, this is really reinforcing the concepts.
Sure,
And
I'm going to do.
it's like, I mean, for me, I'm becoming more confident because I
Yeah,
knew the answer, or I mean, I guessed it correctly. But seeing this slide right now that you have displayed it, gives me the confirmation or the confidence that yes, I'm in the
yeah. And
right.
thank you. I will do that, Gigi. That's a
Thank
valuable
you.
suggestion. I'll do that.
We have
Just since we are here on the slide, if you remember the previous question, it is about the second value, where we said that although documentation is necessary, we are not ruling out it. We'll continue to work on it, but we will give more value to working software, delivery of a working software over delivery of a comprehensive documentation. And that was the essence of the question. Now let's go back. I
you, sir.
hope this makes. Yes, Arsalan.
I have one question regarding that slide. Can you give some sort of, as you have explained the two questions we have done in these 2 points, can you please give little more example regarding this individuals and interaction, and also the fourth one
Yeah,
responding to the
sure.
change,
Now,
so
the next
it will
question that
clear.
we are going to attempt at Salan will cover individual and interaction and responding to change as well. Okay,
Okay,
it is
that's
coming.
great.
It is coming.
That's great.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
good. Thank you.
If this is your question, right? This is your question, right? Right? Okay. Let's go back to our quiz and ding ding ding. All right. So here we choose C and then move on to the previous page. All right. Now let's read. Halfway through a project, new market research indicates a shift in user preferences that affects the project's product. What should the project manager do? Immediately incorporate the changes without consulting the project stakeholders. B. Initiate a discussion with the stakeholders about the new findings and assess the feasibility of integration or integrating the changes into the project. C. Pause the project to conduct an extensive market analysis before making any changes. D. Stick to the original plan since it was agreed upon at the beginning of the project. Now, what do you think, Arsalan, should be the best answer here? What does this question trying to assess, right? There is a indication that should we continue to follow original plan as we planned and agreed in the beginning of the project, or we should uh,
I think it's D.
adjust as per the changing need and changing dynamics, right?
I think can we can discuss with the stakeholders about the new finding and assess the feasibility of integrating the changes into the project.
Now let's use the elimination technique, Arsalan. Do you
Yes.
think A should be an answer?
No. And D
Right,
also take
straight away.
as
Yeah,
yes.
we can eliminate it. Now, B, initiate a discussion with the stakeholders, which very collaborating move, good idea. About the new findings and assess the feasibility of integrating the changes into the project. This makes a collaborative approach and could be an answer, right? Yeah. Now,
Yes.
C, pause the project to
Cannot.
conduct an extensive market analysis before making any changes. Now, this is some out of the box suggestion
Yes.
that,
Out of the box.
yeah, that could be done at some point, but I don't think the situation demands that. Now,
D is
D,
also the
stick
same.
to the original plan and don't change anything because we agreed in the beginning upon
Yeah.
everything as is, right? Now
Yes.
we can eliminate D as well, right, guys?
B also. Yes.
Yeah. Now the competition is between B and C. What do you think, guys? Should be the more appropriate response
According
to
to
the
me, yes.
situation at
B.
hand?
According to me, it's B. We pause the project to conduct an
Arsalan,
extensive. Yes.
Arsalan will tell us. Arsalan, tell us.
Yes. According to me, it's B because if we go with the C, we pause the project and to conduct an extensive market analysis before making any change, it will simply give us a delay in what we have just on means that we cannot give the project on time, something, some sort of delay in that. So according to me, I will go with the B. Initiate a discussion with the stakeholder about the new finding and assess the feasibility of the integrating the changes into the new project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're suggesting
I
B is
think
the option?
B I
Yeah,
think is the correct answer.
correct. Do you agree, Fatma? And so George and Fatma, do you agree? B is the answer?
Yeah,
I
B is
think
the
it's
answer
B.
because you are not the only one who is running the project. You need to discuss with the stakeholder. So you cannot pause the project to do the another thing, market analysis. That's a different department.
Mm, it's
So
mentioned.
you will
It's
go.
already done. At least it's done the analysis. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
already.
Yeah. So now we covered the value that we just discussed. That the fourth value in the Agile manifesto was that we will we will follow a plan, or we will respond to the change rather than following a strict plan. I just want to go back and show you guys. And I think Fatima has done a good job. She has mentioned the values in the chat. If you look, the fourth value in the chat, responding to change or following a plan. That's what being tested here. I think everyone is clear about this, right?
That's the beauty
Yes,
of
yes.
agile methodology. Otherwise there are some options that we follow in linear in waterfall software engineering, but the beauty is that you are open for change and you are open for discussion, and you can stop or change the software when the market is indicating that there is a big change. That's software is not going to work after a year or so, so
Yeah,
you have to stop and make the change. Otherwise, you will be like Nokia and Apple, and Android will be win and Nokia will be nowhere. It's like that.
sure. Sorry, I think I missed that. Okay, all good. Let's go back to the preview. All of you can still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, George, would you attempt this question? 10? I mean, read out loud and attempt
Yes.
it, please.
A key project resource suddenly becomes unavailable. Project manager quickly reassesses the project plan to redistribute tasks and finds alternative resources without compromising on a project timeline. Project manager is demonstrating which project management principle? A, demonstrate leadership behaviors. B, navigate complexity. C, embrace adaptability and resiliency. Or D, be a diligent, respectful, and caring steward.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think about A? Is
Yes.
it a leadership behavior that he is demonstrating?
Yes, maybe.
It is, but that's like that's like the generic leadership is what you're doing anyway as a project manager. So what they're asking about this specific, so I say it's C, embrace adaptability and resiliency. Because he's already demonstrating leadership because he's the project manager in the first place.
I agree with your justification that A looks more generic. However, B looks more specific because he is responding to the situation and adapting and showing some proactive resiliency. Yeah, yeah. So B is not the situation here because situation is not that demands project manager to collaborate and discuss the complexity of the any technical complexity or anything that is too complex to understand. So the situation does not also look at the option D, be a diligent, respectful, and caring steward. Now, had it been a situation where someone needs more time with the family, or someone is sick, or someone need a bit of help in training or getting the job done, and the project manager is, on his toes to help and set the other person for success, to facilitate, then we could say that, yeah, it's a situation that demands some caring stewardship, right? But it is not. It is not. It's a challenging situation when someone is suddenly unavailable and project manager has to reassign some work between his team members who are still available. So it more relates to the embracing adaptability and resiliency. This is my opinion. If anyone, yeah, I hope everyone agrees, right?
That's why I picked that one. Yep.
Okay. So Fatima, would you take us through this course, this question?
Okay, do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
project manager, okay, the project manager has implemented an open door policy for team members to discuss any issue, ensuring fair workload distribution and actively promoting work-life balance. Project manager is demonstrating which principle of project management. So here, open door policy for team member to discuss any issue. The first is navigate complexity, tailor based on context, demonstrate leadership behavior, be a diligent, respectful, and caring steward. So project manager has implemented an open door policy for team member to discuss any issue, ensuring fair workload distribution, actively promoting work-life balance. Yeah, it should be D.
Do you guys agree? Arsalan, GT?
D.
Yeah, I think. Arslan, can I hear from you?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because of the work-life balance, then
Yeah,
that definitely
true.
demonstrate
So
caring.
this is your turn, Gigi.
Ah.
Carry on with this question. Read
Alright.
out loud and take us.
Oh, the project manager is continuously prioritizing project activities based on their contribution to the overall objectives, ensuring resources are allocated to high value tasks. Project manager is demonstrating which project management principle. Hmm. Well, it could be A because of the focus on value, but I think it's general. So
let's use the elimination technique as well, because
Okay,
we
C
can
C
straight
is
away
not,
eliminate. Yeah.
because you're not talking about complexity, it's just about high value risk. So C may not be an
B is also,
answer.
I don't think so. B is not tailor based on context. It's not that thing.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
So it's between A and D, I think. But in D, recognize, evaluate, does not. But there's no system interaction. So I think it's still A.
First one will
Yeah.
be.
uh,
True. True.
Let's
okay,
go with
that's my
this.
guess. A.
Yeah, it is A, and the reason being is that remember the principle where we said that okay, whatever is more valuable for the customer has to go first. Whatever feature is less valuable, it can wait and it can be delivered later on. So when we prioritize our tasks, our features, activities, we should always focus how can we deliver value to the customer, early and continuously. So something which is more valuable, we should focus on it first, and we spend money and time on it so that customer realizes that he's investing dollars and then he's realizing value of those dollars also. Yeah.
Now I got it kind of to help out a little bit here with these
Yeah.
questions. When you see the word value in the question,
Yeah.
value with the answer with the process of elimination. When I remember in high school taking that college, what was that to get into college? When to prep you on that. Now I'm remembering that helps you out. The hint is sometimes there in the question. The main point is
I could
value.
I could
So
have
the
changed.
answer
Yeah.
value right there helps out.
Yeah, I could have changed it to high important or highly important tasks, and then it would have been little bit tricky, but it was spot on. Yeah, it was spot on. Yes, you're right. Yeah, good observation, George. Yeah, you are right. So this was the question which was probably wrong when you guys attempted yourself. I could not hear from you. Okay. I will read this question. Project manager implements quality control measures at every stage of the project, from initial requirement gathering to final delivery, to ensure standards are met. Project manager is demonstrating which project management principle out of the following four. Build quality into processes as well as deliverables. Tailor based on context, navigate complexity, demonstrate leadership behaviors. Again, this is straight away A, right?
Yeah,
Yes, A.
considering the tip of George, I think the
High
answer
George,
school,
A.
George, good trick.
high school
Thank you,
tip
George.
is like English.
Thank you, George.
Yeah. All right. That makes our life more easier. Yeah, this is your point, right, Arslan? Okay. Arslan will answer this question. Project manager is adjusting the project management base approach based on specific needs and constraints of the project, such as using agile methodologies for projects requiring flexibility. Project manager is demonstrating which project management principle? Yes, Arsalan. Is it
Legend.
A, B, C, or D?
The project manager. Project based on the specific B, C, and B, C straightly eliminated, and A and D.
So your competition is between A and D. Okay.
Yes, I will go with A.
you will go with the A. You are sure that it is okay. So let's read the question again. Project
I
manager is adjusting the project management approach based on the specific needs and constraints of the project, such as using agile methodology for projects requiring flexibility. So this suggests that you are kind of um, you are kind of tailoring your approach based on the requirements of the project, because you are deciding which approach you should take when the requirements are flexible, such as using agile methodology for such requirements which are flexible. So project manager is adjusting. Now, had it been a situation where you are responding to other project managers about the deliveries or about the dependencies that you have with them or they have with you, then I would go with the A, that you are recognizing that someone is waiting for you, and you have to finish it up and hand it over to them, the deliverable. Or so this is not the situation in the question, Arslan, right?
Yes, got it.
Yeah. The situation is which approach you can utilize here depending on the type of requirements that you have at hand, right? The requirements are pretty much flexible. You could use agile approach. That's why you are tailoring based on the context. I think everyone is clear on this right now.
Yes,
I just wanted to give a tip here. I think if
Yes, did you
we
go ahead?
look at some keywords like uh, see tailoring and sorry, the word adjusting. If you look at the synonym of the word adjusting, that is the tailor, right?
Mhm.
So that could somehow give you a hint that that could be the correct answer. So
Yes, yes,
they
good
you've
suggestion.
got to be more conscious about the synonyms of keywords on the question, and then look for those words, the synonym words on the answers, and most likely you'll spot it on.
Yes,
Right?
true. These are the three tips that we learned today. Either you will find an exact word which George mentioned in actual questions also, or you would rephrase it. I mean, how, like using synonyms, you would rephrase or you will find a word that is synonym in the answer, and that could be a clue. And third one is the elimination technique, which we are using always, that let's eliminate what could not be an answer, what may not be an answer. So this helps in time management. These type of tricks really help you when you will have 200 questions to attempt and you have a clock ticking, then these tips and tricks will really help you to solve the questions quickly. You know? Thanks, DG. Thanks. Really appreciate. Project manager is facilitating change management process to help the team and stakeholders adapt to new methods, technologies, or processes that are critical for achieving project's future state. Project manager is demonstrating which project management principle enable change to achieve envisioned future state. I think we have our answer, right?
Yes,
Because it's so obvious. It's so obvious, right? Everyone agrees, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, these are four set of questions we attempted earlier as well together, but let's do it quickly. Software company plans to release a significant upgrade to its flagship product. The upgrade includes several new features and enhancements that are clearly defined. Okay. The company wants to deliver these features in stages to provide continuous value to its customer and streamline the development process. So, which project development lifecycle approach suits here for this team? So the keywords, as Gigi just mentioned, I think this is the fourth tip that we have today. We need to find the keywords here. So the keyword here is that the scope is clearly defined and we have deliveries, multiple deliveries are expected in this type of project. So if you see the company wants to deliver these features in stages, okay? So what should be the approach here? Iterative, predictive, incremental, agile. Predictive is not the case, probably because in predictive, scope is clearly defined, but delivery happens once only, right? So we don't have the delivery which happens in stages. And agile is not the option because scope is not clearly defined in agile, where the keyword here is that scope is clearly defined. So I would eliminate B and D. Now, what do you think, guys? Which option from A and C it should be?
C, because incremental is stages. Incremental is in pieces, just like stages in the question.
Yes, true. Just like question 1, and then question 2, and then question 3, and then question 4. We have this clue here. So we are incrementally attempting the questions. Yeah, true. So if incremental is like this, so you delivered A, and then A was already there in the next release, and then you added B with the A, and then there was a third release where A and B were already there, which were built before, and then you added C. So this was your third release, this was your second release, and this was your first release. So that's incremental. And this is interesting. If you want right away to understand what agile is, and I always say agile is incremental and iterative at the same time. Sorry, Aslan, I'll come to your question.
No problem,
So
no problem.
if in first sprint you did A, and if you made any changes to A1 and you delivered B in the second sprint, then and in the third sprint, what did you do? You did A, let's say 1.2 plus B1, and maybe you incremented it with C. So look at this. This is iterative and incremental at the same time because you are iterating over A in every sprint. You are improving it, improvising it, as well as you are adding additional features like B, then you iterated over B as well, and then you added C. Now this makes very clear difference between agile, iterative, and incremental. Do you understand, guys?
Yes.
Can you give a similar example for iterative? Like this is a very good description. I mean, example that you're showing now.
Okay.
Agile A plus A+1 plus B and then 8.12. So what about for?
So iterative is this. So if you have A and then you said that, okay, in the next iteration, I'm going to improvise our A. Okay, I did like this. So it's always A. There is nothing B, no increment. There's no other feature. So you did A 1.2 or 1.2 or 1 and 2. And then you said, okay,
So it's the same feature, but you're just
yeah. Improvising.
enhancing it. You're improving
Right.
it.
Yes.
This
Whereas
one I
in
don't
the
this one I don't get either.
You didn't understand?
But I have one question.
Yeah. You got it,
Uh,
or you want to understand better, George?
To understand better.
Okay. So look, let's take an example of
Can you
sure.
describe it as with any software? That's how you develop it, and in the SDLC you do it in iterative mode.
Cool. I'll give you a real world example. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes, guys. I'll go over my slides and then we'll come back to it in 1 minute. Ding.
You said this in iterative the features are defined or well defined or what?
Uh, just a minute, Aslan. Just a minute. Yes, I have it. I have it, guys. I'll upload this example also, or this slide also in our repository, and it will really help us understand. Okay, so let's go to. We didn't see these slides. These were prepared a while ago when I prepared. Guys, do you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. So, um, okay. What did we say about predictive? We said that we know what we need to deliver. We know what we want in the end. So that's a fixed and defined scope. And what did we say about iterative? Can you guys remind me? Remind me. It is about we don't really know, right? We don't really know. The scope is not clearly defined, right? But we want single delivery. We don't really know the scope. We don't really know the end goal, but we want a single delivery, correct?
That's different from the agile. We don't know the scope, but we deliver in a different delivery. There are so many MVPs.
Multiple deliveries, right?
Yeah,
So,
but in
so
iteration, there is only one delivery.
yeah, imagine client asks you that they want a delivery, a final product, just like the client envisioned it, that it looks like something. It looks like something what the customer really need. Yeah, what the customer really needs is, if you see over here, this was what customer really was looking forward to, right? Wait, let me highlight it with the pointer. Okay, when customer came to you, they want a swing, they want to relax, and they want to sit and relax on a swing beside, I mean, hanged on the tree. So the client wanted something similar to this, but they were not able to articulate to the project manager or the team in the first attempt. Oh, I want something like this, but they were not able to envision the product. But what happened when I started working with the client, I understood that they want something like this. So this was the end of my first iteration. So I discovered that they want something like this. However, when they gave me the feedback, with the feedback, I improved or totally, you can say I improvised on the rope. I added a tire as well, right? If you see, there was a rope, hanging rope before, but now there is a tire as well. So this was the result of a second iteration. Then I showed to the client, maybe had the client accepted it right here, the project would have closed right here after second iteration, and the delivery will be accepted. Now, they didn't. They gave me the feedback. I changed it with this swing, and now there are two ropes and one, two stairs as well, right? But the client was not convinced. Again, they gave me some feedback, and I ran another iteration. After this, I ran another iteration, which led me to this stage. And then still client is not happy with the sofa that I hanged over here. They gave me another feedback to change it with something very simple. And then when I changed it, so we reached to this stage where the client finally accepted the final product. So this is where I was referring to, that a row and a row and two rows and with one sofa, and then it entirely changed or transformed to one cushion, So this is iteration.
So to summarize, iterative, just DU, destination unknown, because there's no vision in the first place of the whole project. So DU, iterative,
Discovery.
DU, destination unknown.
Correct.
Got it.
So with this example, I think, and I'll upload this slide deck to the additional resources, Gigi. So you guys will also have this in the repository.
Yeah, that will be good. Thank you.
And
I like it. It's a very visual demonstration of the concepts. Because see, I'm a visual person, so I like to see graphics and pictures.
Let me show you another visual, incremental. Look at the incremental visual description. So now in incremental, we said
it's beautiful. I like it.
A feature after feature.
Yeah.
Very clear for everyone, right? And let's see another. Yeah, this is a quite good summary, guys. Now see, when we remember, we said that one big bang delivery waterfall, when we know the scope, A, B, C, everything coming together, and we are delivering in one go. This is pretty much waterfall. Then we said iterative. Okay, we are going to iterate our various features in every iteration. ABC worked, ABC worked, ABC delivered again in single delivery, one big bang delivery, but we iterated many times various features. Now, incremental is we worked on A in first delivery, then we added B in the second iteration, then we added C in the third iteration. And this is agile, which is incremental and iterative at the same time. So we are working on A1, B1, C1 in first iteration, then all A1, B1, C1, additional like this one, this one, this one. So we incremented C with 2, we incremented B with 2, we incremented A with 2, and added to A1, B1, and C1. Similarly, here we added 3 as well. So the
Thank
best
you.
way.
This is really very good.
Yes, Gigi.
Because like you have learners like me, I am kinesthetic and visual.
I know what you want to say is it's slightly different with what I said earlier. I said that we may be working on A1 here. And then in the second iteration, we said that, okay, let's improvise our A1 with 2. And at the same time, let's also deliver B1. And then we said that. So I think the idea is clear, right? With both of these annotations.
No, really, I mean, I do appreciate this because
Gigi,
I
there is
I
some
find
break.
the slides, I find the slides, as they say, death by PowerPoint, because I find the previous slides somewhat boring, sorry to tell you, because
Yeah.
they're too text-based. And
Yeah.
so I mean, I lose my concentration because I have some challenges with concentrating on text. I easily get bored. But when I see graphics, when there is some, the visual and the kinesthetic part of it, that's where I get engaged. So if you could supplement your slides with materials like this, wow, you really
No worries.
impress me.
No worries.
Thank you very
Actually,
much.
I will do that. I'll help you out, guys. Don't worry. Okay. I think we should take maybe 5-minute break, and then second half of this lecture will take up with full energy.
Can we see the answers?
We'll resume in 5 minutes, Arsalan,
Okay. If I'm
for
available,
another
I'll
half an hour, yeah,
join.
lecture. Yeah, we'll resume in 5 minutes.
Okay. Noted.